and welcome to the Cancer Journey podcast. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Sherry Ann.
So let's start with Pesh. 1 out of 5. You want to go first?
Okay. So physically, I am 3.3, emotionally 3.7, spirit 4, and hope 4.1. And my word is new.
Okay, my turn. Physically, I am a 4. Emotionally, I am a 4.25. Spiritually, I'm a 4.25. And hope is a 4.5. And my word is muchness.
Okay.
So we're obviously together right now, and we're in London right now.
Yes. London, England.
As opposed to any other London.
Right.
So we're doing a lot of traveling, and Shurian's been here before, but I haven't. But no matter where you're going or where you're traveling, it's a new experience. It's a new environment. If you're staying in a different hotel from when you were last time, or if you are going to a new place for the very first time, you are navigating some unknowns. You're with a different group. You're with different people. And you're just at a different point in your life. The circumstances surrounding you are different. So we want to just talk about navigating the unknown and
Right.
how we're seeing it right now, especially being in this new environment.
Right. And we'll relate it back to the cancer journey. But it's been exciting as well as curious. It's like since I've been here almost 7 years ago, things have changed.
Yeah. And as highly empathic people, we're feeling all of the nuances of the people around us and the environment around us. So by being who we are and standing in our strengths, our values, our purpose, our full essence, the question comes up for us even now, like, how do we stay authentic to ourselves, and how do we continue to do the things that light us up while still being here, being in this,
being in that strong, powerful self, because things are different. It smells different. The sounds are different. It looks different. It feels, everything is different, not unlike when someone starts a cancer journey.
Yeah. And there's so much unknown that it gets scary. It can get easily scary. I mean, it's my first time in London. I don't know the streets. They are not straight. They're not all the same. And obviously they're on the other side of the road. So there's a lot to kind of recalibrate. So how am I calibrating? How are we calibrating?
Right. Well, one thing that we've been doing is really talking about our strengths.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, who am I underneath my skin? It's like, who am I really? Because those are the things that we can really lean into to get grounded again.
Yeah. And also slowing down, even though there is that desire to like go out and do and see this and do this and eat these special things. We're finding moments of pause for ourselves and moments to slow down and not feeding into the have tos, because it's like, oh, we only have so much time here, but we have to do all this before we go.
Right.
It's like, no, like last night we just had dinner here and we just went to a market and got all these little things that would make us happy. And that's what we did. We just relaxed and we got to talk with everyone in our group and just slow down and take our time. And there wasn't a lot of pressure. And so I think that helps us really be here and be really present without burning ourselves out, because that is so easy.
And that is part of navigating the unknown. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. It is finding the place that makes you feel comfortable. So we did get some yummies last night, and some very familiar yummies and some unfamiliar, but we were comforting ourselves with the food that we wanted. And it was the people that we were with in conversation. It was just like coming back to here and us. And so that's the pause. It's like while the environment changes, we're still us.
Hmm.
And just leaning into also what's important. So it's not just your strengths, but it's your values. It's that um, essence formula that we talk about all the time, which is that is uniquely me. So I get to bring my sense of family. And for me, family is, yes, my family, but also people that I consider very close. And that creates like a grounding place for when you're dealing with the unknown.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a big thing too is like we get to talk about our perspective and what we really truly want here. Because there's so much that we want to do and there's so much also back home, right? So we have to is like filming a podcast. But we find places to put that in that really match what still works for us and what's still authentic and true and real for us. So we're being
That's
really
it.
realistic with ourselves when we need space and what we want. And we're all individual people. I mean, we've been navigating with a group of 8, which is a large group to be traversing any area, but especially, during holiday times, it's been, I mean, obviously it presents a bit of a challenge, not in a bad way, not in a
No.
like negative way at all, but in a way that, we see each other as a group and we also need to see each other individually for what our individual wants are. So something we have continued to ask throughout this whole trip is what do you want? What do you
Right.
want? Not what do we want as collective, but everyone gets to have their individual wants, whether if it's kind of food or how they want to spend the day
Yeah.
or things they want to see. And we don't have to all be together. We get to split up. So we create a lot of flexibility for
Yeah.
ourselves, and a lot of safety for each other,
Yes.
by having just a place that we can consistently come back to and a group that we can come back to and relax and people who acknowledge and help us facilitate what we truly want.
Right. Which is part of that. How do you traverse or travel the unexpected is really getting connected with the folks, place, and letting yourself be you. I mean, I think that, well, one of the things that we talk about a lot at CJI is asking for what you want. And it's so easy when you're in a group or you're in some place, some strange place to advocate that power of yours, thinking that, oh, I just need, I need to make everybody comfortable. I need to take care of everybody else. But even in that, and particularly in that situation, you got to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And only you, only me, only Alicia, whomever knows what they want in this moment. And that is one of the key things about making something that feels unfamiliar, maybe scary, or what have you, more comfortable and more safe is to ask for what you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, especially on a cancer journey, on just anywhere that is an unexpected or unknown journey. You don't really know what to expect from it. But I'm really picturing the roadmap, right? So like the roadmap has a certain flow to it, but we're constantly going through journeys like that. So the unknown can obviously be the pit, and understanding can be coming out of it. It can be a journey of knowledge, it can be a journey of getting from one place to another. And so the way that that's really reflected too is that, like, a lot of times when people expect vacation, they're like, relax, do nothing, everything's set, like a break from your normal life. And there is bits of that, absolutely. But um, there's a lot more effort. There's a lot more trying.
Yeah.
There's a lot more um, newness
Right.
to be experienced and to embrace. And so, like, for me, this isn't the time to kind of let go and, like you said, abdicate, just be like, oh, whatever, I just want to enjoy time. It's like I have to actually make choices to have the experience that I want to have.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I'm really sensing in this moment is the, oh, yes, I want to pause, but there are also times when you're feeling like it's go, go, go. Like stress is coming on. You need to deal with something, whether it's like we're trying to cram in as much as we can in a particular day. And not everybody wants that.
Mm-hmm.
And not everybody needs that.
And not everyone can physically do that.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you need to really kind of state your claim going, all right, that's all I can do. I just need to rest. I just
Mhm.
need, I need some alone time. Now I need to go inward and find and reconnect with myself, especially when there's so much noise. And I'm bringing this back to the cancer journey because you are in a different environment. Lots is happening around you. It may feel like a swirl, and people are talking and wanting different things. And you need to find you to come back and say, shh,
Mhm.
let's just take a moment because I'm feeling overwhelmed or I need some time. Um, and we don't always give ourselves permission to do that.
Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say that, like, this experience for us, like, we should be viewing it even more as though this is more of a cancer journey for us, because then we get to bring our own attention to us, right? We're not trying to pull everyone's attention and be selfish, be like, it's all about me, but it's so easy when you're on a trip, when you're with a bunch of people, to be like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And care more about what other people want before your own needs. But if we're viewing this of like, if I were on a cancer journey, what I want to experience, what I want is just as valid and valuable and important as everyone else's needs. So it becomes really it slows me down. It goes, okay, well, what do I really want? And it makes me recognize maybe in ways that I didn't realize that I was abdicating my power to other people, or not asking for what I truly wanted, or even just taking what I really wanted, or communicating those things. And it just makes you like slow down and be like, well, what do I need right now? Like,
Right.
how do I take care of myself? And how can I do that with this group? It's a lot of that. It's a lot, a lot of brain power
But it's
going,
it's
but
it's amazing to me that we have this similarity of, travel and the cancer journey, which in itself, they're both journeys.
mhm,
And I'm going to use yesterday where, you have this tour guide
mhm,
who's like, okay, we're going to do this and we're heading here and we're going to, they're shepherding you through where you're going next. And it's like, but that doesn't mean that you can go at the pace of everybody else.
mhm,
And of course, there is the absolute feeling of expectation that you do. You have
mhm.
to keep up with everyone. So
Yeah.
the hanging back or compromising, saying, "Oh well, I really just want to sit and take a pause."
Mhm.
We're such about the pause, and not feeling like you have that voice to say that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tricky, especially when travel makes me feel always like people want to be on tours. I personally am not a big tour person, but I'll do them. I'll do a few of them here and there. I'd rather have someone tell me about the history than try to do it myself. But um it was cold. It was really cold. And that for me, that was the biggest factor about why I was unhappy on like at certain points in that tour, for that I'd be staying there and I'm like, okay, I'm cold, but I'm not shivering, so my body's not conducting heat. I just started bouncing because I was like, I want to be here, but my physical body is just like, I'm cold and it's making me unhappy. And so when we did finally get to break, I was like, I need to go somewhere warm. And we did walking for a while and I said, okay, I want hot soup and coffee. And so I went and did that by myself because it was like, I just need to take care of me. And if anyone wants to join, they can join. I communicated, and that's been a big part of this trip as well, is communicating with people and a lot of groups of people. Um, without crossing lines of
Right.
what other people want. It is a
Wow.
balance. It's
Oh
been a
my
balance.
goodness. That is the hardest balance.
Mhm.
And I'm bringing it back to the cancer journey. It's the same. It's like, I can I just stop here for a moment? It's just this, you're being led through this regiment, this routine that you've said yes to. We can use the analogy of a tour.
Mhm.
And then it's like, but now I need something else. And to be able to vocalize that and give that to yourself can be really hard.
Mhm.
And so it's like, okay, then I'll wait and I'll wait. And so you're jostling yourself, you're jumping up and down. It's like, I'm still trying to be compliant,
Mhm. Mhm.
maybe even complacent or
Yeah.
complicit. I mean, it's like, oh man.
It's such a balance
Right.
between I want this and everyone else wants this, and
Right.
and you know um I consider ourselves quite emotionally aware, and I know I'm on my journey. I know you're on your journey. Not everyone's going to be on their journey. And so also navigating those personalities that maybe don't understand the terminology. that we do or the way we do things, because obviously we know we're nerds for our own work. We're living it, we're doing it, but we can't expect everyone to be. So even just that, navigating that unknown of what is needed there with people who don't have the language or the practice of asking for what they want. And we still don't want to assume, right? We don't want to assume we know anything better. But we want to keep checking in, and there's a lot to navigate here.
It is.
And when you're on a cancer journey and you're that person, I mean, obviously you're on your journey. You're on your cancer journey, but also you're on an emotional journey, whether you want to or to be or not.
Right.
You know, it's not necessarily a choice at that point
Right.
too, but your emotions are impacted. So the people who around you who really want to help you and serve you, to teach them to communicate or try to communicate that with them when they don't have the language that you're communicating in, can be super challenging.
Yeah.
So you're navigating that on the cancer journey as well, and how to really be one with everyone and yet still have you putting yourself first.
Right.
It's a dance.
And it can be challenging in an already challenging situation. So it is that we're advocating the pause. We're advocating you taking it at your pace, even when the doctor says we got to go to the next thing, and you can go, I just need to take a pause and really settle into this. And if you're on a tour or you're on vacation, it's like, hold on, we don't have to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that is such the energy when you're not feeling grounded. And then let me add in what you were talking about. It's like trying to deal with the different personalities.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, here I go. I'm trying to take care of everybody else. Where am I in the mix?
Mm-hmm.
What is it that I really want? And so for this podcast, the invitation to you is to stop right now and just check in, regardless of the noise and everything else that's going on around you, to just connect with, what do I want in this moment?
I think we should all take a breath together, because we're live and we can do that. Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes. Ready? Inhale. Let's do 3 breaths. Why not?
Okay.
Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Nice wide lungs, and exhale. And this one, we're going to inhale all the good, yummy things we want. And we're going to let go of all the ick on the exhale. Because we can't.
I love that, the ick.
We're just going to let go of all the ickiness. And I want to talk a little more about, what do you get? What do you get from pausing? Because we talk about the pause so much, and sometimes it's like, okay, and now what am I supposed to be feeling? What am I supposed to get out of it? And what's the point, right? For me, it's the fulfillment and the alignment with what matters to me.
Okay.
Literal energy, like physical energy. Because if I don't pause and stop and take a rest, or take a pause to listen to what my body needs, my physical body, then I'm running on fumes and I don't even know it, or I'm pushing myself more than I have to.
Right. I love the pause.
Mm-hmm. It's like overall wellness.
Yeah. I am as I can't think of the word. I'm like everybody else. It's like, go, let's get this done. What's the goal? Where are we going? And nope, that's not the word. I am subject to trying to rush ahead without really connecting with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And
taking a pause just to figure out what the word is.
You
can take a pause to figure out the word. It's okay. You don't have to rush to the next word. You don't have to know, because it's unknown. The next step is always unknown.
Right.
3 seconds from now, I don't know.
But the connecting back with me.
Mm-hmm. It's a reclaiming of your energy, your bandwidth, your space, all of your resources inside and out. You get to really know who you are, even if you don't feel as connected. Maybe you don't know your purpose yet, and you don't know your strengths yet, you don't know your values, but you get to take this moment and truly, whatever pops up first is probably what wants to be heard.
Right, exactly.
If it's I take a deep breath and my feet hurt, it's well, maybe you should rub your feet a little bit, give it some energy there, or like, oh, there's my brain zooming around, I'm tired. Okay, take a nap, take a
Right.
break.
Right. Because our bodies so will tell us what we need. And right when I paused, I was really just kind of settling in. It felt like myself was giving myself a hug from the back. It was like, okay, I got you. I'm holding on to you. And so let's pause here to see what is it that you need? What is it that you want? What are you feeling? We so don't know that we're breathing, let alone feeling.
That's true. You could pause and start crying,
Right.
which honestly would be so beautiful.
Right.
Like even my pause right now with the deep breaths, it's like I felt this expanding energy that I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do. Let's do some stuff, right? And that's not going to be everyone. That's not even that. Who knows
Well,
if that's
good,
going to be
because
me
I got, oh, it feels so good just to sit here.
and we don't have to be the same. That's okay.
Yes.
And then we get to make the choice. We get to make the choice of what we want to do next. We can walk somewhere if we have the energy. We can take the subway. We can take a car. Depending on whatever your energy is, we're able to flex, but with the recognition of what the energy is. We have
Yes.
something to go off of
Yes.
instead of all of this like, well, I have to do this and I have to get presents for people and it's the holidays and I have to rush and the sun's going down early.
Or I have to please everyone. For people pleasers, I'm one of those. It's like, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need?
Or like, I'm going to do this. What are you going to do? Just so I know that you have something to do, because I'm not going to take my space and what I want to do until you know what you're going to do and I know you're okay. It's like,
oh, isn't that so human? Like, is everybody okay? Now we can move. But that's really not what we're saying. We're saying you be okay for you.
And be able to state, I want this, or I want something like this. It doesn't have to be a form. It can be a function. Like, today I don't want to make any of the decisions. That is a great want. Honestly, I mean, that's not me personally today, but if someone is feeling like I've made a lot of decisions, I'm tired of it, can someone else do it? Yes. And I love that. I love someone able to say that. And in a cancer journey too, if you're able to say like, can someone just like for the next week, I got things to do. Can you just please like chauffeur me around? Like, is anyone available for that? If someone can say yes, absolutely. And it's so clear what you're asking for and what you need. Or like, I just want to sit in silence and hold someone's hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And let me add another level is not everybody's going to show up with you asking for your needs, but that's what's important, because it is about you first. That's not selfish. It is you taking care of you. And so when other people disappear or act weird, or it feels like something's there, but they're not communicating it, your best place is for you to communicate in all authenticity and clarity as best as you can where you are, because that invites the other person too. So, and it is so important for us not to make people guess.
Yeah. And to tune in with ourselves before we tune in with them, right? Because I think that when we're noticing other people's, like shifts in their energy and their mood and their demeanor, obviously we're being triggered in some way.
Yeah.
And so noticing that trigger, it's like, okay, we don't have to go there first. It's not, are you okay? Are you good? Because who likes being not I don't like when people are like, are you okay? I'm like, are you implying I don't seem okay? Instead of asking like, what's here? Is there something you want to talk about? It's not an invitation. It's kind of an accusation, but checking in here first. Like, okay, I'm noticing what that is, because you don't have control of what someone else is feeling or how they're showing up. You only have control of how you are and how you would like to be, spoken to in that situation. And there is a lot of trial and error, and we could call it error for someone to say no to us, right? Like, no, I can't do that, or especially saying no to what our needs are. But it's a message. It's not a denial. It's not
Right.
a judgment.
And not to be taken as a rejection. It's just that's what that person is not capable of. But being clear, oh, that's so helpful.
And then you can redirect, right? So, like, okay, that person can't fulfill my needs and what I need right now, but I know I need this. So, this isn't my person in this moment, maybe ever, but in this moment, they're definitely just not the person who can fulfill your needs. And that's a very clear message. So, it's like, okay, then there will be, I promise, there will be people who fit your needs, who align with your needs and your values and the people who are right for you. And that becomes the law of attraction, right? Because when you continue to ask for what you need, the people who are able to fulfill that are your people. And then they're naturally attracted to that because you're naturally putting out this energy of like, this is what I need in my life. And so the people who can't fulfill that, they can't. And it's nothing wrong.
We call those allies.
Mm-hmm.
Allies
People
that
say yes.
Right. I mean, then allies aren't just people. It's people, things, anything that is there to feed you, to nourish you. And so if it isn't nourishing you, then you can gently let that go. The hard part is that during a cancer journey, some people who we expected to be there just aren't there. They just can't show up, or they may be physically there, but they're not really there. And that it hurts. That's why coming back to you as our best ally is the most important. Like we are our own best ally so that we can notice when something isn't working and we're not spending all this energy trying to make it work where it just doesn't. And I know that's sad to say for a cancer journey, but it does happen. And we've heard it again and again and again where people disappear or don't show up. And it's hurtful.
It is hurtful. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that goes with part of my takeaway, which is that journeys, any journey, a cancer journey, a literal traveling journey, it's going to be filled with a lot of ups and downs. We may have expectations of what it's going to be, but really um it's kind of a challenge, and it's this really beautiful new space and new environment where you get to learn. There's so much learning that happens, and so much like effort, not in a bad way, not like efforting, but there's so much there to be working with and to be thinking about. And you're constantly around people, and there's so much going on that, like, disappointment's inevitable, but so is joy, on these journeys, especially with people.
Yes.
When you're interacting, so knowing that there are highs and lows and that like swirl that comes in, just means that the journey is alive. It is alive. My Pesh is physically, I am a 4. Emotionally, I'm a 4.25. Spiritually, I'm a 4.5, and hope is a 4.5. And my word is moving forward.
Okay. So my takeaway is that it all comes back to us, you, and communicating what you want to yourself first so that you can articulate that to others is so important because we're not mind readers, nor do we want to be. We just want things to flow, and it's not always going to flow. Especially, it's unexpected. What's flow and unexpected? But being open and conscious. Oh my goodness. Conscious to ourselves and those around us and things that are happening. There's so much joy to be seen, even on a very trying or challenging day. But there is all of it. And so the invitation is be with you and find a perspective that works for you in that moment, whatever that is. And my Pesh is that last part just lifted me. So physically, I am a 4. Emotionally, 4.6. Spirit, 4.7. And my hope is 4.7. And my word is excited.
Well, thanks for joining us here in London. We'll be back on Friday. We upload new episodes every week.
Remember, you're more powerful than you realize, and we'll talk to you soon.